What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another FPL video. My name is Mo, and today I'll be going through the game week thoughts just before game week 5. It's come around thick and fast, guys. Only 2-day turnaround between game week 4 and game week 5. I think it's absolutely amazing that we have to make so many decisions so quickly, and we literally don't have time to think about it before we have to action our thoughts. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys like what you see, give us a like, and if you haven't subscribed to FPL INKLING, please hit that subscribe button and join the FPL INKLING channel to get the best content for FPL, and stay tuned for the rest of the season to see how we can get to the #1 rank by game week 38. So what are the kind of hot topics this week? What are we all talking about over Twitter? What is the kind of general consensus within the FPL community and the managers, which is almost 10 million guys now who are playing this game as we speak? So the first question is, who's going to be our captain? There are a few choices this week, so pretty much like the last couple of game weeks, the top 3 choices have been around Salah, Haaland and Jesus. That's not in any kind of order that I've chosen. That could be the general order or the thought process. And, people are thinking outside the box. People are looking at, Luis Diaz as captain, Trent. Potentially, they can look at, Reece James. They can Cancelo. I know he's been a bit short of points and returns in FPL. So people are looking outside the box, guys, to choose captaincies, which is really refreshing to see, because that would definitely separate up the ranks, which has been kind of been like template-ish, I think, first 5 weeks, because people are trying to stay in contention for a good rank. But people are now starting to knee-jerk a bit more, and decisions such as captaincies will play a huge part of who goes where in terms of their overall rank and their points for their game week. So in terms of what I'm thinking about this week, so as you can see, Salah is my captain. Now that's a very simple reason. I am tempted to captain Haaland. If this is a weekend fixture and he's had a 7-day rest, I think against Nottingham Forest at home, 100% I'd be captaining him. Because the turnaround of this game for Manchester City is only 3 days, so he's played like 81 minutes on the weekend and he had a fantastic game, got a hat-trick. And, Pep's comments last week were that over a week period where they play 3 games, Haaland won't start every game and Alvarez will get a chance. So, again, it's really difficult to predict. Will he get another chance today? In this game week, will he get a chance to play against Nottingham Forest for about 60 minutes, then get subbed off and then kind of be benched against Villa? Or will it be vice versa, where he comes on for about, 25 to 20 minutes, has an impact, and then gets a start against Villa? So that's the only kind of thing which is at the back of my head concerning me in terms of minutes. I'd rather play Salah, who I knew is, I know for most likely will get 80 to 85 minutes, if not the whole game, against Newcastle. He didn't even come off even after going 9-0 up against Bournemouth at home. That's how much game time he does get, and his fitness is incredible. And I think he did blank last game week. By law of averages, maybe he'll go big this week. We just don't know. And Jesus is a very good option as well. Aston Villa have been absolutely dire straits. They're poor. I think, disappointing start so far. And Arsenal have done an absolute fantastic job playing well this season. Yes, Martinelli and Jesus blanked this game in game week 4. However, there's no reason why they can't come back with a bang. And Jesus is a really good captaincy option because he likes to get in, the goal, assistance or scoring the goal itself. We're not too sure about who the penalty taker actually is. Is it Martinelli, for example? Is it Saka? Is it Jesus? That's the question to ask. But Jesus is not a bad option to consider for this game week. So those are the kind of the 3 main options for me. But if you're looking to go captaincy outside the box, absolutely fine. There are some really good options to consider. And I know some of my personal friends are actually picking Kevin De Bruyne because they think, the game against Nottingham Forest at home, he could indeed go big. And then the next topic was Haaland's minutes. So we've talked about Haaland's minutes already. It's just a guessing game of when he'll play and how long he'll play for. But I think regardless of however long he gets in this game week or the Villa game week, whichever game he doesn't feature in terms of playing the start of the game, he still will have an impact. We've had players like Perisic have come on for about 15, 20 minutes in the first couple of game weeks, and they've had a massive impact in terms of Spurs. So I think he will come on, he will have an impact, and he could be even more deadly after 65, 70 minutes for Nottingham Forest. I feel sorry for them because they're going to spend all the game defending, absolutely shattered and an absolute beast in form. Like Haaland comes on and, that's just going to challenge them even more in terms of fatigue, how they can keep their heads up, what their game plan looks like. It's going to be a wonderful seeing, but I just don't think that, I'm comfortable enough to put the captaincy on him. But if he starts, happy days, and Haaland owners should be comfortable. I think he should get, some form of returns in some form, whether he starts or comes on as a sub in the game. The next topic is transfers. So there are plenty of managers, guys, who've been in an absolute fortunate position that they have 2 transfers, and they don't have a transfer to make. Absolutely amazing. How often do you get that in Fantasy Premier League or FPL itself, that you don't have to worry about transfers? I'm one of the polar opposites in the last couple of years, where I've been like, oh my god, I need to make 3, maybe 4. I'll get a -8. It's horrible, but it's nice to hear from FPL managers that they've got squads that they're actually content with. And people are talking about making transfers on their like bench players, for example, just to make sure they don't burn a transfer. So I've seen people talking about their 4.5 forwards they want to change. They want to change their 4.5 mids, even 4.5 goalkeepers I've heard as well. So it's an absolute, a lovely position to be in. But personally, I always think in the sense that you don't have to make a transfer for the sake of making a transfer. You don't need to make it if it doesn't add anything in terms of value to your squad. Don't do it. I always say, or I was always been brought up with the kind of like concept or idea that if something's not broken, don't fix it. And that includes FPL lineups as well, guys. Don't fix it just for the sake of a transfer. So hold your transfers. If you've got 2 transfers, just burn it. Don't worry about it. Move on, enjoy the game week, and just relax. For once, it's very rare you get this opportunity, guys. If you haven't got any injury concerns, if you haven't got any rotation of minutes fears, or if you haven't got any players in who are not in good form, just sit back, relax, and put the captaincy on the player that you want to, and enjoy the game week. The next topic is in terms of injury updates. So that's a common question that I've got this week, of how the injury situation is looking. So let's have a look at which players have kind of like the most injury kind of press. We probably can find out from here. So Zinchenko, knee injury, 75% chance of playing. I think most likely he might be rested for this Villa game, and he will probably get a start against Manchester United on the weekend. I'm just going by what I've seen on social media in terms of FPL saying 75% chance of likely of playing. I don't think it's that severe, because if it was anything serious more than that, we probably would have heard about it by now. But again, it could be vice versa. It could be some scans we're waiting for. But I think if you're a Zinchenko owner, there's no need to panic if you've got a good bench player like Andreas on the bench, or a Neto to come on and feature, because they've both got some really good fixtures this week. And then if they come away with returns, absolutely fine. But then if we get more of an understanding after this game week, as Zinchenko's out for a longer period, then I think we can look for alternatives to bring in to cover his position. Wilfried Zaha, 50% chance of playing, leg injury. Again, no real indication of will he be available for this game week for Brentford at home. We'll just have to wait and see. I've also mentioned in my transfer tips video that if you do own him, maybe for this week it might be worthwhile taking him out and bringing him back in for the Newcastle away game. So that's something that you guys can consider as well. Maddison is a tough one. I've heard absolutely nothing about Maddison and how fit he is to go. It's only 75% chance of him featuring, which is kind of good news for Maddison owners. Manchester United at home will be a tough game, so he's got a bit more, 2 days more than some players which are featuring on Tuesday. So that could be a positive sign. And he's been fantastic so far, guys. Leicester, in terms of attacking, have a lot to own to him in regards to how much he's contributed. Bruno Guimaraes, he didn't feature on the weekend, guys, against Wolves. Again, I'm not too sure about how long he will be out for. There's just not been many press conferences or releases in terms of players as well. If you do own him, I'd say potentially I say just hold on and roll the transfer. Just play one of your bench players if you can. But if you do have the funds spare in your bank and you can upgrade, potentially move on to like a Martinelli, even a Rodrigo. If you don't own those players, just for this game week to cover, to ensure you have a playing outfield player playing for you. I know it's not an injury, this one, guys, but Darwin Núñez is suspended to the 3rd of September, so one more game to go. How many of you will, guys, jump back on him against Everton? Is he going to be a player you're looking for? 9 mil, guys. We were all so impressed with him before that red card, so we just have to wait and see how he goes, guys. So that is mainly what the injury updates look like for now, for this game week. But overall, game week 5 has come around, guys, and there's, a lot of talking points in terms of do we move away from, template picks. Some people are talking about moving away from Mo Salah, which I personally won't be doing, and I advise that if you're watching this video and if you haven't made a decision yet, if I can convince you in any way, shape or form, so I would say please do not move him away. He is an FPL GOAT for a reason, and he will come good. If you do decide to move away from him, there are alternatives. Avoid Son for now, because he hasn't hit any form at the time of this video recording, but Kevin De Bruyne is in good form. You could save around 0.7 to 0.8 mil, and you can invest that if you do have some spare funds in your reserve banks amount of the 100 mil transfer budget. You could probably upgrade some players, so someone from like a 4.5 mil to a 6 mil defender, or you could go from like a 6.5 midfielder to an 8 million midfielder, or if you're playing a 2 up front and you want to go to a 3 up front, maybe going up from about for 4.55 mil, you can actually get up to a Mitrovic. And if you do have some even additional funds, maybe even an Ivan Toney, you just don't know. So that's the kind of, consensus that's taking place. Cancelo is a hot topic as well. Moving away from, I personally wouldn't move away from him. Nottingham Forest at home, I'd back him for another game week. Yes, his numbers are low. He's not getting into those positions that we're actually used to seeing him from last season. It is a concern, but I think he will come good, guys. He's one of the most nailed on players from Man City. Got subbed off for 60 minutes on the weekend against Palace, so pretty fresh for this game to go. Alternatively, what players can you look at if there's a better option out there and you can invest elsewhere in your squads? Absolutely fine. But I still think going big at the back is pretty good. After game week 3, we're all like, big at the back is a failure, one bad week. None of the big guns have returned at the back. It's shocking. I've got 5 premium defenders and I've got 3 or 4 points in return. Guess what, guys? They came good this week. So maybe knee-jerking away and kind of trusting the players in the long run will be a better idea, rather than bouncing every week on week in terms of knee-jerk in itself. But again, it's entirely your choice. If you do want to shake up your squad and you want to take out these players, absolutely fine. What does Cucurella's minutes look like with Chilwell coming back? Chilwell only got 1 minute, guys, on this weekend. It's a very popular question I'm getting over social media and in comment sections of the previous videos I've released. How does Cucurella look? I'm not entirely sure myself, guys. Am I looking to move on from him? I was, but against Southampton, I'm not taking him out at all. He's got in some really good positions. Unlucky not to get more returns, and until he's playing, I'm going to keep playing him. 5 million for a Chelsea defender with the fixtures they've got coming up. Absolute bargain. Alternatives, yes, we can look at maybe Dunk for Brighton, Trippier for Newcastle, Saliba for Arsenal, Gabriel if you don't own him. There's some, Eric Dyer, for example, Emerson Royale for Spurs. There's some really good option, guys, elsewhere if you do look to move away. But for me, Cucurella stays this game week for sure. If I do look to move away from him to another player, we'll have to look in the next coming game weeks, guys. So those are the game week thoughts, guys. For game week 5, let me know what your thoughts are. Is there anything I haven't discussed that you're thinking about? Put that in the comments section. If you like the video, give us a like, of course. And if you haven't subscribed, guys, why not? Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed what you see. It's absolutely free. Be part of the FPL INKLING family. And do you know what? We're growing, guys. We are growing day by day. And I want to thank everyone for watching my content and definitely hitting that subscribe and like button and leaving some positive comments along the way as well. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute privilege. I'll be back with some more content very, very soon. Good luck for game week 5. This is the last video before that, guys. And I will see you with some more content for game week 6. Till then, take care and best of luck for game week 5.